NBA Week 7 conclusions. The Thunder are finally clutch, and the Jimmy Butler trade wasn't so bad. Have the Oklahoma City Thunder turned a corner? Does the Jimmy Butler trade look a lot better in retrospect? USA Today Sports Week 7 of Jumping to Conclusions examines the Thunder's struggles and reassesses Chicago's franchise-altering trade. There was a time not long ago when we started to wonder if OK3 would even make the playoffs, as the trio of reigning MVP Russell Westbrook, Paul George and Carmelo Anthony were just 8-12 after 20 games. That benchmark was fascinating, as Anthony had made the following statement to USA Today Sports when they were just 9 games in. After the first 20 games is when things really start to kick in, Anthony had said. Well, okay, Melostradamus. The Thunder won game number 20, 111-107 over Minnesota after the T-Wolves had already beaten them twice, number 21, 90-87 over San Antonio to break the Spurs' 4-game winning streak, and number 23, 194 over Utah to break the Jazz's 7-game winning streak. And now, as Carmelo predicted, Oklahoma City is looking good again. The standings are in their favor, as the slew of injuries in the West have led to unexpected mediocrity with every team not named Houston, Golden State or San Antonio. The Thunder are just 2 games out of 4th place. Denver and Minnesota are tied in that spot. What's more, Oklahoma City's upcoming schedule is relatively soft for the next 10 games, with no games against the 7 teams that have winning percentages above .600: Boston, Houston, Golden State, San Antonio, Cleveland, Toronto, and Detroit. Yet make no mistake, the Thunder still have work to do on the offensive end. They've dropped from 17th in offensive rating last season, 105 points scored per 100 possessions, per NBA.com/stats, to 22nd, 102.5 points scored per 100, despite adding 2 all-world type scorers. The combination of Westbrook's shooting struggles, 40% shooting percentage is his worst mark since his rookie season in 2008-09, 70.5% from the free throw line is a career-low pace, and lack of ball movement, fewest passes per game in the NBA at 261.5, has made everything more difficult. When we're committed to playing 48 minutes of moving the ball, and generating good shots, however long it takes, that's when I think we're at our best, Thunder coach Billy Donovan told reporters after the win over Utah on Tuesday. NBA MVP rankings: can anybody catch James Harden? NBA Rookie Power Rankings: Utah Jazz's Donovan Mitchell is a star in the making. Playing better when it matters most tends to help, too, and this latest stretch has been a major improvement for the Thunder during clutch time, defined as the last 5 minutes of a game in which the teams are separated by 5 points or less. Through 20 games, Oklahoma City was 1-9 in clutch games, with a net rating of -42.2, ranked 28th. During this 3-game winning streak that has included clutch time in each game, the Thunder have a net rating of +40.2 during the same span. Among the draft night deal that netted Chicago's Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn and Lauri Markkanen in exchange for budding superstar Jimmy Butler was hardly received well from a national perspective. Few saw the Bulls' return as proper value for a franchise centerpiece with 2 years left on his contract, and many were dubious that that was the best deal they could get. But months removed from the franchise-altering trade, and weeks away from LaVine's return from his ACL tear, the Bulls have reason to be excited about their yield. Markkanen has knocked down 51 three-pointers, second among rookies, on 34% shooting from outside, and has shown surprising athleticism for a 7-footer. Dunn, though nowhere near seasoned, has also had several promising games after he looked lost last season with the Timberwolves. Over his last 4 games, Dunn's averaged 16 points and 6.5 assists as a starter. And LaVine, coming off a career-high 18.9 points per game last season, is said to have improved his vertical leap that already earned him 2 slam dunk championships. Not only did the deal make sense at the time, with the Bulls electing not to quasi-compete in the Eastern Conference for 2 years, but it's looking less and less lopsided as Chicago's foundational pieces continue to develop. Singer: no one should be surprised that Minnesota's Tom Thibodeau is riding his starters harder than any other coach in the association, but his reluctance to use three-time Sixth Man of the Year Jamal Crawford has been odd. Crawford has seen his minutes plummet from an average of 26.3 per game with Doc Rivers and his Clippers last season to 17.5 per game with the T-Wolves, 14-11. Meanwhile, there's a massive gap in workloads between Minnesota's starters, all averaging at least 33.1 per game, and the reserves. Point guard Uce Jones averages the sixth most at 17.6, followed by Crawford. But based on Crawford's track record as a super sub, who can not only score in bunches but be a capable playmaker, it's only a matter of time before he's helping Jeff Teague and Jimmy Butler get more frequent breathers on the bench. The season is too long and taxing for Thibs not to let him help more. For me, the minutes reduction has probably been the toughest part of the adjustment because I'm more of a rhythm guy, Crawford told USA Today Sports on a visit on the NBA A to Z podcast. That's why I'm always playing basketball, even on my All-Star break or in the summer, I'm playing. I like to stay in rhythm. I feel like if I miss a day, if I miss a couple days playing, I just don't feel right. My handle's not as tight, not as crisp. My shot doesn't feel as good. I think with the minutes now, it's just a little bit tougher trying to figure it out. I think things will change a little bit as we get used to each other, and this is having been together 2 months. I'm not sure Thibs has had a sixth man of the year type guy before. So that's different as well. I remember Doc told me that when I first had him. It was kind of the same thing, maybe not as extreme with the minutes, but just that he had to figure out how to do it. Week 7 NBA Power Rankings. Rockets take top spot, Cavaliers stay hot. Curry out, Curry's ankle to be re-evaluated in 2 weeks. Crawford, who was traded to Atlanta during the summer and signed with Minnesota after reaching a buyout agreement with the Hawks, faces his old Clippers team in Los Angeles for the first time on Wednesday night. I have no complaints, Crawford said. I mean, everybody wants to play. I love playing. That was part of the reason I came to Minnesota, was because the role, I thought, would be there, and the team was on the rise, and Thibs, I've always been a fan of him. I think over time, hopefully it increases and kind of works itself out. I just think I can help. He'll gain trust of the bench. Follow USA Today Sports Sam Amick and Michael Singer on Twitter.